Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope you all are doing very well. I'm your science teacher, and this is the summary lecture of today's Zoom online class. And in this class, we will start our unit number 1, which is classification. Fine, we have done this unit in the video lecture as well, and we are going to this unit once again so that you can learn, you can understand it very well. Fine, so unit number 1 is classification. As the name of the unit is classification, so here the question arises that what is meant by classification. So classification is the process of grouping similar things together, or we can say that grouping of living organisms on the basis of similarities and differences is known as classification. Fine, so grouping of organism, we have, as we know that we have a large number of organism, we have large number of living things, whether the plant or animal on this planet. So in order to study them easily, scientists have grouped the similar plants in one group and in the similar way similar animals in the another group. So by studying just one animal or one plant of any particular group, we can get information of all the group, of all the members of that particular group. So why classification is done? Classification is done in order to make it easy to understand the large number of organisms in a very short period of time. Fine, so due to the structure and other characteristics of organism, we can identify them and study them very easily, and we can also know the relationship among the organism. Now if we know that the following or some of the organisms or some of the plants are kept in the one group, so here we should know that there should be a particular relationship, there should be particular similarities in among the plants, among the animals which are kept under the one group, which are kept in the one group. So there should be very similar to each other. So grouping, what is meant by classification? Grouping of organisms on the basis of similarities and differences between them is known as classification. Now we know that we have a large number of plants and animals on this earth. So in order to make it easy to understand them, scientists have classified them into 5 groups, and these 5 groups are known as kingdom. So the grouping of all the organism into the 5 group is known as 5 kingdom system, and these 5 kingdoms are kingdom Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Fine, these are the 5 groups which cover all the organisms which are present on this earth, whether they are plant or they are animal, they are covered in all these 5 groups. Fine, so now we will go through these kingdoms one by one briefly. Number first is kingdom Monera. What is kingdom Monera? Kingdom Monera is the kingdom which includes the organism that are made up of only one cell. One cell means they are unicellular. Like we can say the bacteria, which is unicellular, which is made up of one cell. Fine, on the basis of number of cells, we have two types of organism. हमारे पास अगर हम number of cells की बेस पर हम ऑर्गेनिज्म को स्टडी करें, सो वी हैव टू टाइप्स, वेदर वी हैव number 1 is unicellular and number 2 is multicellular. So the organisms which comes under the kingdom Monera are unicellular, means वो क्या है, हमारे पास एक सेल से बने हुए हैं. दे आर मेड अप ऑफ ओनली वन सेल, एंड द एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ किंगडम Monera is bacteria, and bacteria is found everywhere on earth. Fine, and we also know that the bacteria can cause diseases, and some of them are beneficial as well. Number 2 is kingdom Protista. Usually they live in water, and the members of kingdom Protista are amoeba and paramecium. Fine, you can see the image on your screen. That is the image of amoeba, which is like a water droplet, and the second one is paramecium, which is like a sole of shoes, and both these are what? These are the members of kingdom Protista. Fine, these are the protists, and they are made up of only one cell, means they are unicellular. But remember that some of the members, some of the organisms of kingdom Protista are multicellular as well, and they are made up of more than one cell. And kingdom Protista members also contain chlorophyll, and due to which they can prepare their own food. Like we can say that plants have chlorophyll, that's why they can prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight. Similarly, kingdom Protista, few members of kingdom Protista have chlorophyll, and that's why they can prepare their own food. Number third is kingdom fungi. Some fungi are made up of only one cell. Fine, like they are made up of only one cell, so it means that they are unicellular, while some types are made up of many cells, so it means that fungi can be multicellular or they can be unicellular. Fine, you can see the image on your screen and you can easily understand that the members of fungi includes the mushrooms, which is very common, and you all should be or maybe familiar to it. So that the mushroom, which is umbrella like structure, and you can easily find it after a rainy season, and that they grow on the piles of rotten metal, and they are usually umbrella like. Fine, so they are the member of kingdom fungi. And you can see the fungi on the rotten fruits, or you can find it on the bread, moist bread, which it grows on the moist bread. You can see the image, that is the member of fungi as well, which is known as Rhizopus. Fine, it is also called black mold, and it grows on the moist bread and fruits. Now if we talk about that whether the fungi are edible or no, so we will say that some fungi like mushrooms, some mushrooms are edible while some are poisonous. Edible means that eatable. Fine, we can eat them. So we know that some mushrooms are eatable, we can eat them, means they are edible, while some are poisonous and we should avoid them. So fungi can be, or we can particularly say mushrooms can be edible or they can be poisonous. Yeast, which is also an example of kingdom fungi, and you all will be familiar to it, where it's commonly known as, in Urdu we call it khameer. Fine, and we use it to rise the dough. Like if you are making the pizza, so we usually use it to make the rise the dough, or we also use to make the bread soft. So yeast, which is used to rise the dough, is also a member of kingdom fungi. The number fourth kingdom is kingdom Plantae, and which is very easy to understand because we all are familiar to a large number of plants. All the plants which are around us, whether they are flowering plant or not flowering plant, comes under this kingdom, which is the kingdom Plantae, and they are green in color because they contain chlorophyll, because of which they can prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight. Fine, so they contain chlorophyll and they can prepare their own food by trapping the energy and by using sunlight, and they can prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight. Fine, so kingdom Plantae includes all the plants whether they are flowering or non-flowering plant, and they can prepare their own food. And we know that the members of this plant are very important because we need oxygen to live, and which is provided to us by means of these plants. So it means that the members of this plant, or we can say this kingdom, is really very important because we are living because we need oxygen to live, and which is provided to us by means of these plants. The last kingdom is kingdom Animalia. As the name indicates, all the animals comes under this kingdom, and in this kingdom we have two types of animals. One is the vertebrates and the other one is invertebrates. And vertebrates are those animals which have backbone in them. Fine. Whereas the invertebrates are those animals which do not have backbone in them. So all the animals, whether they are invertebrate or whether they are vertebrates, come under which kingdom? They comes under the kingdom Animalia. Now come towards the copywork, and you have done question number 1 and question number 2 in the previous lecture. It was given as homework. Now, question number 1 was define classification. Hope you have done that, and you can get help from here as well. Number 2 was into how many groups scientists have classified living organisms, name them. So it was the second question. You can take help from here as well. Now today's homework is question number 3, question number 4 and question number 5, which is the diagram. Fine. So question number 4 is the write the names of 5 groups of vertebrates with one example of each. So 5 groups of vertebrates, we have done this topic in the previous lecture very briefly. You can take help from that lecture as well, or you can take help from that image as well. Those organisms that have backbone are called vertebrates, and the following are the groups, and with each group we have given one example. Groups are fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals, and all of these groups are written with one example. You can change, you can write the example of your own choice by understanding the lecture very well. Fine, you can write it from the example of your own choice, but that should be correct. Question number 4, write any 3 properties of birds. Yeah, it means that we have to write the characteristics of the bird. So following are the properties of birds. Birds have feathers on their bodies, they have a hard beak, they do not have teeth. Now come towards the last question, that is the diagram. Draw, shade and label the diagram of monocot and dicot seed. We know that we should draw the diagram on the next page after writing down the question. Doesn't matter how many lines are left, but don't draw the diagram on the same page. Just write down the heading and then write down the question, then draw the diagram on the next page after drawing drawing the double margin lines, then block, and then writing down the headings in the center as shown in the image. Diagrams should be neat, labeling should be double margin double underlined, and they should be as much proper, as much tidy as it could be, and you can take help from the image as well. Fine. So it was today's homework, question number 3, 4 and 5. You have to do this homework in your neat notebook, as question number 1 and 2 was done in the previous lecture. So on the very next page you have to start the question number 3. Thank you. Hope you have understand today's lecture very well. Stay blessed.